Welcome back to Bill's Bets and Beers. Sorry about that time off a little bit. Had to wrap my head around what happened in that game and just come up with some topics to talk about that I haven't been beat to death at this point. But yeah, let's get into this video. It's going to be about the Bills versus Bengals post game recap. I know it's almost been a week. Just been going over things and trying to rewatch the game and see some things and see maybe something I missed when I was watching it from the stadium and whatnot. But if you're new to the channel, this is a channel where I talk about Bills football, NFL in general. I walk through my bets I put in. I try to put a lot of NFL bets in and whatnot. And then I also do some occasional tasting and rating of a tasty brew. So, but yeah, let's get into this video. I'm going to start off with the positives from the game. You think there was done. I think the same. But the only positive I had from the game was the tailgating atmosphere. It was the best part of the day, and honestly, it was one of the best atmosphere I've actually seen during the tailgate. Opening day is very good too, but it was nice to see the differences between like playoff and just like regular season like tailgating. Because I don't know, I went up both times for the Dolphins and this game. It was just nice to be there and be in the stadium for post game. Yes, this one was very brutal for the Bills, but being there, my brother, was fun. Like I said, weather was perfect. It was actually pretty warm, like good 30s, and then it didn't really drop too cold, and the snow was coming in when you're walking into the stadium. I mean, couldn't ask for much more from this game, at least tailgate wise. But it was just great all around. Everything was good, and like almost like a perfect setting for what should have been a great game, but just being a dumpster fire for the Bills. Um, but yeah, that's it for the positives. Um, biggest One of the bigger negatives, obviously the defense was not that great, but the run defense was just embarrassing. You have Nixon popping off 8, 9 yard runs almost all game, like 5, 6 yards almost every single time. So it's like he went for over 100 yards. He went for 105 yards on 20 carries. That is just disgusting. The whole team in general went 172 on the day. So it's like they were able to take as many rushing yards as they needed. They didn't have to throw the deep ball. They didn't have to do anything crazy. And then our prevent defense, they were letting everyone catch underneath it. It's like I don't know what happened. We only scored 10 points that game, and that run defense didn't help us. I'm not sure if that was scheme. Like, hey, let's let them beat us with their running backs, like we did, you know, with the Dolphins when they came in. And it's like we still almost lost that game. It's like it doesn't make sense to me. Like if it doesn't work that first half, or it doesn't even work that first quarter, or the first couple drives in the first quarter, change it up. You gotta be able to change up when you like at any point of this game, especially being a divisional matchup. And this team's very good. It, obviously, the offense didn't help too much because they weren't getting too much done either. But the defense, I think it was a lot of scheme on that. And yes, there were players weren't making tackles. Some players weren't where they're supposed to be, but do something to fill those gaps a little bit or something up front. They were just getting pushed back all day, it seemed like. Um, Also, the Bills had no run game. It's I don't know. It's like we've had games where we were doing great on the ground, and then this game we had a total 63 yards, and there's only 19 attempts. I know we were down a lot in this game, so you're not going to get tons of rushing attempts. But even to begin that second half, you're still only down by what? It was like 10 points. It was 7-17. So it's like start off doing something. You don't have to go big and get that deep pass. Do some runs, do some things like that to start off and get at least a difference. So they're not just watching people downfield and not even bothering about blocking the run. It just was very frustrating. And obviously you could block Allen's run because he led it with 8 attempts. And he only got that for 26 yards and the only touchdown. So I mean it's just like they abandoned it too early as usual, and I think we're gonna need to see. We're probably gonna see a change in the offensive coordinator next year, or at least we should see something. I don't know. I guess it might be a little too early to say let's get rid of him, but we're getting to the point where we don't really have that many years left of being in that Super Bowl window. Then Allen just didn't show up. He went 25 for 42. Just didn't show up for the big moment like he usually does. No passing touchdowns. Obviously, he got the only rushing touchdown. I don't know. He got one interception, and Diggs went 4 out of 10 for 35 yards. The leader of the leading the pack was Knox. I think he had like 70 something yards, and I don't know. I think the only not even great thing, the neutral thing I would think of offense. Khalil Shakir came up with 2 for 40 yards. That's good to see. But anyways, last, I'm not beating the death of these. I got 2 more things for these negatives, not beating it to death. The Bills defense allowed them 30 first downs. I mean, they only went, and then they went 6 out of 10 on third down conversions. That means they only had 10 third downs all game. That is disgusting. I mean, that means they were going first down, 8, 6, 7 yards on a run, then another 4-yard run just to top it off, and then I don't know, it just seems ridiculous. The Bills only had 18 first downs and went 4 out of 12 on third downs. It just doesn't make sense what was happening. I mean, you're there watching the game. You're like, why can't they get their act together? Why aren't people doing things? What is going on? And it's like you can't. There's no explanations for that. 1 second. Sorry, my dog is chewing something in this room at the moment. So sorry about the noise. Then last but not least, penalties. We're killing ourselves. I don't think that's really what caused this thing not to go anywhere, but we weren't helping ourselves. A couple of big penalties on the defense. One against Trey White, and it was just nothing was going well. So I don't think the penalties caused this game to lose it, but we just did crap on all fronts, which is why there's only good thing was tailgating of the game. Insult to injury. Just this is like one of the worst games you're gonna see, and it might be the last game that Poyer's with us. And who knows how that secondary is gonna look next year without Poyer back there. I mean, with him back there, that we had that giant win. We never lost with Poyer back there, and and hopefully Hyde comes back. I mean, hopefully it's a good sign that Hyde was willing to come back this year. Hopefully he starts off next year. He should be fine. So if we have Hyde, that'll be a nice thing to have back there. If Poyer does come back, that'd be beautiful. But who knows? We didn't give him a big contract this year. We just gave him a couple mil extra. And if he's looking to get paid big and someone gives him the money, then that's what's going to happen. I mean, we're definitely going to be drafting someone or picking someone up in safety this offseason. So that's something to watch for the Bills. The Bills just got destroyed at home in the playoffs with a massive game, and it wasn't even close. I mean, it looked close at halftime, kind of 7-17, but it really wasn't. It's sad to see the Bills not show up in a big game like this. It's last year, 13 seconds. Yeah, that was tough. That was brutal. But we weren't even close to being in this game. That makes it worse. Scoring 10 points all game and allowing them to score 27. Losing by 17 at home. That is more disappointing than losing with that 13 seconds. That changes the narrative. Because there's a lot of Bills fans. I wasn't really on the train. But with how all the Bengals were looking, let them come into our home. We would have beat them. I mean, they beat the Chiefs. That's something we couldn't do that year. And all year, like you, all off season, all season, you didn't hear a peep really about the Bengals even making the Super Bowl the year before. And it's like, oh, the Bills should have won it last year. That 13 seconds, blah 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 blah. If they would have got that, they would have beat the Chiefs, beat the Bengals, and then gone in and beat the Rams. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, you can look at the teams last year, look at the team this year. I mean, not much different. And this year we faced the team that we should have beat. That people say we would have beat in the AFC Championship at home with the Bills, and nothing happened. We didn't show up for that moment. And who did? Freaking Joe Shiesty and the gang, dude. I mean, definitely going to get a lot of stuff for Bills fans to wrap their head around that. Like, that narrative's gone. That last year, oh, we would have won the Super Bowl if it wasn't for that. No, who knows if we would have made it past the Bengals at that point. I mean, coming into even a bigger game, the championship game, who knows? Maybe it would have been different. But this is a divisional game where you're expecting, hey, we're going to get the Chiefs out of Arrowhead for the AFC Championship game, and you can't get a dub. You can't even get close. It wasn't even like, oh, the last play of the game, they win it. Yeah, there was some mistakes, but there was a lot of good, and there's some negatives. There was no real positives and all negatives. So that's what makes it worse, I think. Also, there's gonna be a lot of off-season changes this year for the Bills. At least there should be some at coaching. I mean, there should be some players leaving, some players staying, some big decisions by the coaching staff in general. Because you got Edmonds coming up on contract, Milano's already signed. Are we going to keep Edmonds? I think we should. I think he's a good player, and he's got a big wingspan, and he's still young. He's got a lot of good years ahead of him. So it's like I think we should pay for him, but then it's like how much cap space do we really have? Because I think Allen stuff's hitting next year, big, one of his first big ones. And then you have like, are we going to keep McKenzie? Then Beasley's probably gone for good, I would think. I mean, I know we have Shakir. He's a really big piece, and I think he's going to be a big piece next year. But then whoever, like, you got Gabe Davis coming up. Not this year. I don't think he's a free agent this year, but he's coming up where we're going to have to make a decision soon for him. And it's like, is he worth it? Is he a wide receiver too? It didn't show it well this year. A lot of big major drops from him, man. It's like all these questions are coming in. Offensive coordinators are going to be the same. Defensive coordinators are going to be the same. I mean, and all of that's coming up when really our Super Bowl window, yeah, it could be anytime. I think if we keep winning our division, we're going to keep getting a chance to get into the Super Bowl. But realistically, keeping all solid players on this team, and the AFC isn't getting any easier. Our Super Bowl window is vastly, like, I would say, coming up at a moderate pace. It's moderately closing soon. So it's like we have to hit big in these next couple of years, and it's just a shame that we weren't able to make it at least to the Super Bowl this year, or at least the AFC Championship game. But that's really it for that. I'm gonna do some quick shout out to sponsors, and I'll be done with this. I got my wife. Check out her Instagram page. It's for her business. It's Crochet with Elisha. It's Crochet WITHELISHA. Check it out. She does a lot of nice stuff. She does hats, mittens, gloves, cardigans, scarves, pretty much anything you could think of winter wise. For like toddler, no, I mean even infants all the way up to full grown adults. She even does bikini tops and bottoms, beer koozies, dolls, blankets, pretty much anything you can think of. She always picks the best yarn for the job, and it's always gonna be good quality. So go check it out. She'll shoot you a DM if in response if you message her asking about a certain pricing or saying I would like this, so she can give you a pricing before she even starts making it. Then I got my buddy Evan. He's got his channel as well. He does a lot of gaming on there. Been doing a lot of Madden franchise, some Mass Effect collections, um, obviously some Warzone 2.0, and just a lot of stuff on there as of late. He also does some stuff on the NFL. We do some he does podcasts on NFL content, art like it's called arm wrestling, and then also MMA. He's been doing MMA for 15 years. He knows a lot of stuff about it. He's won a big parlay on there. He puts a parlay on there every once in a while, breaking down some fight cards if he gets the time. But yeah, go check out his channel. It's very good, and the content is always it's always above average. You're not going to be leaving those videos upset. I got some upcoming videos, and then I'm gonna be heading out. I'm gonna be doing a AFC plus NFC championship preview and prediction tomorrow. Um, and I'll wrap in the NFL championship weekend same game parlays in the same video. Then I'll be doing a Bills season recap and off season preview. Um, Most likely I'll drop that mid or late next week. Want to get a lot of good content in there. I might be collabing with Dan from Don Mafia. I'll probably see if I can get him next week to jump on to kind of do a quick small recap over what we think could like recap of the whole season. Obviously we're both gonna be disappointed, but like if there were any positives, any negatives, well, any positive from us, if there are some negatives, who we think is gonna be coming back, who we might lose, and just a quick preview of the offseason. Obviously, you're not gonna see everything because a lot of seasonal stuff still going on, so you're not gonna see coachings and too many moves as of yet, but something we might predict or something like that. But yeah, that's going to be it. If you have any feedback, leave me a comment with some negative and positives, all welcome. But that's going to be it for me. Go Bills, and I'm out.